What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing, and I am so glad to be with you all here. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Great morning to you. Who said that the other day? Was that you, Brad, who said great morning? I love that expression, by the way. So I am so humbled, first of all, for all of your support, for the community that you offer. I am grateful for each and every one of you, and to be able to have the opportunity to spend this time with you right now. You could see the title of this video is a little different. Someone actually left that in the comments yesterday, and it's completely appropriate. That's what's going on over here. We'll take a look at everything this morning. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at silver. We'll take a look at gold, and we're going to get into it all. We're going to see where the flow takes us, because we follow the flow of the market. We're not looking to impose our own will on the market. We're following the flow. Silver here looks beautiful this morning. We're going to take a look. If you do not own enough gold and silver, go ahead and smash that like button. If you're anything like myself and wish you own more, smash that like button. Do not worry. Do not worry. We will be converting at another point our gains. Dun, dun, dun. All right, everyone. There's some things I want to talk about over here, and we're going to start over here with tomorrow's jobless numbers, because tomorrow we have the unemployment numbers. It's a big deal. It's a big deal, right? So, what are our expectations? I don't have any expectations. I'm going to talk about that in a moment when I get to show you the charts. But what I do want to look at is, you saw this little bit of improvement over here, is this. All right. Just a couple of things that I found very informative this morning. You will too. And we're saying that we are facing the worst employment crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s. Yelp reported 71,500 businesses that were listed on their site have closed for good since the crisis. That's the last I checked was over a month ago. That was 55% of all businesses. It's insane. That's insane. Now, but the third quarter was when the U.S. economy was supposed to come back roaring to life. Here's the problem. This is why I wanted to bring it up. We're looking at a GDP growth of 20%, over 20% coming up in the third quarter. Those are some big numbers after the 30% drawdown in the second quarter. What we're looking at, though, even with a 20% print of GDP coming up in the next quarter, and it will be higher than that, people still are not participating in this. You're seeing a select few participating in this. That's why we say, when we look at the indices and they're trading over here, Nasdaq at all-time highs, it doesn't make any sense, because the economy is not reflective of this. We got some big businesses. Bezos cashed out $3 billion yesterday. What's up, right? Bezos is living nice. Amazon's doing fantastic, as well are some of the biggest tech companies. Again, I said this during the height of the crisis. By the time this is over, they will have implemented universal basic income, welfare for the people, because these jobs are not coming back. A significant amount of jobs are not coming back. Thank God we all have the grace of being here, working together, and being able to navigate these markets together. It's a heavy heart. It's a heavy heart when we look at people. When you look at people and they don't, can you imagine? Kids see and know everything. That's the truth. Tough times. Listen. All right, what else did I want to look at today? I want to get into the charts with you. We were looking at beautiful Nevada. Beautiful. Wow. Jesse. Oh, before we go any further, heads up to the community. Jesse is really looking to go ahead and put together t-shirts for all of us, right? If anyone has any really nice design talents and could come up with some print ideas, so if we're conquering the market, t-shirts. I want a t-shirt that I could wear all the time. I'm kind of picky about my style and clothing. It's got to be smooth. If anyone has any talents and could put together some design ideas we can send to Jesse, please do go ahead and send them my way. Please do email them to me. I would really, really appreciate that. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Brandon, morning. Right? Let's get those going. I would love to have that. I must have a pocket. I get you, Greg. Greg had an amazing comment this morning that really stood with me. He was saying, listen, I really learned the importance of knowing when not to trade. When not to trade. A lot of people on the East Coast lost power, right? Look, if you're going through the stress of the household not having power, do you really think that's an appropriate time to be trading? Of course not. Which also brings us to where we are on Thursday. Right? Tomorrow we have non-farm payrolls. That's a big event the market's looking forward to. Expect some volatility tomorrow morning. I don't know how the markets are going to react, and I don't care how the markets react. What's really important to me is to see what that print is and then what the markets do, right? Today is not a good day to be taking positions. There's no reason for anyone to take any positions today going into tomorrow's volatility. Do not do it. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Dr. Kenneth, great to see you here this morning. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, GP, one beautiful thing that we saw here, well, I don't know. And I truly mean when I say I do not know, I do not know, right? Are we consolidating over here? I got to get a thicker print over here. Here we go. Are we consolidating right over here, right above all-time highs? I mean, yes, we are. Which is bullish. That's bullish, GP, and everybody. But what we did see, that is bullish. But what we did see is that rotation yesterday into the Dow. That was also quite bullish overall. What's going on, Jordan? Get in the flow. Get in the flow, my brother. All right. Here we go. And now we're ready to go. All right. So S&P 500, by the way, we missed what we missed. Did we miss the take profit by 2 points? Not bad, right? By the way, anyone who was in that trade should have exited right here. If you didn't exit into the resistance, which you should have, right? But if you didn't, you should have exited right there. We're neutral. Let's stay neutral for a while on the indices. Yeah, I think they could. Listen, let me talk about this really. Let's talk about the indices before we get into all the fun stuff. The fun stuff. We're going to start with the indices over here. By the way, completely humbled by all of your comments last night on the video, on the published video in the afternoon, genuinely, and I thank you. So when Bitcoin hits 100,000, caught my eye, and we start taking profits, should we close lower or higher positions first? Look, I can't answer that right now. I saw someone comment this morning that they were not going to take any profits until Bitcoin reaches $100,000. I'm not taking profits at $100,000 personally. I think we're going up towards 140. That's my goal. But listen, I'm personally, I'm gonna digress before I get into the end of the season. I really want to do. I'm positioned in now because it was the bear market where you build up that position, right? And even over here, on the breakout of the bull, I added, and then I added again on this support over here, on the test of that support over here. I'm not adding more positions until we have a 30% pullback, right? And how many of those 30% pullbacks will I add? I'm not sure. I'll walk it through with you all. You all know what I'm doing. Maybe it'll be the first 3, but I'm not adding any positions, right? As we cross, I'm done accumulating. As we cross $30,000, and when you hit $100,000, which positions do you close for, Dr. Loco? We'll figure that out as it comes. No, I don't. So there's an amazing book, by the way, by Professor Savadine called The Bitcoin Standard. Go ahead and get the audiobook or the paper or the book if you haven't read it. A fantastic book. Do I think Bitcoin will become the next reserve currency? I don't think so. Personally. We'll see what happens. I'm all for it. I think it should happen. I don't think it will happen. I'm just looking for Bitcoin at this point. My next goal for Bitcoin is for Bitcoin to overtake the gold market cap. Do I think that will happen this halving? No, I do not think that will happen this halving. Do I think it'll happen the one after that? Good chance. But eventually, we looked at yesterday, JP Morgan was talking about how the fact that baby boomers are more invested into gold and millennials and younger generations more into Bitcoin, right? And that's because younger generations have a better handle on technology trends, right? So the future, of course, you can't move gold around. It's not easy to do. Bitcoin is super easy to do. All right, let's take it out. So first country, yeah, I mean, Gary, that's a good question, right? I believe Russia's in great shape, by the way. They got rid of all their U.S. treasuries. They're accumulating gold, right? These guys are have a lot of energy, have a lot of oil, a lot of gas. Russia's in a fantastic, no debt. Russia's in a fantastic place. Venezuela's not. Venezuela, Iran, a country like that might be forced to adopt a Bitcoin standard before anyone else. But I think those countries are already accumulating Bitcoin. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a while. Aaron, excellent question. I have over 50% of my overall portfolio into Bitcoin. Over 50%. That's including my owned real estate. Over 50% in Bitcoin. There's a video published a couple of weeks ago on the channel on cryptocurrency. I have less than 1% in altcoins, in Ethereum, LinkedIn, and Tezos. A small amount. Boom, boom, boom. Lebanon maybe 2. That's right. Absolutely. And look at Turkey, right? But all right, let's keep going. I want to talk about these equity markets this morning over here with you this morning, right? Is it possible we receive someone loved the comment left yesterday. It would be nice if the US.gov was fighting for the American people here. People need these stimulus checks. They really do, to simply survive, and it's not enough. It's not enough. It's a shame that $3 trillion printed, all of that went to, a lot of that PPT money went to Chinese corporations. How about that one? How do you like that? How do you like that one? Right? People need help. Is the government going to be? No, the government's not going to be there to help you. We need to help each other, right? Is it possible that we get some type of really bad numbers tomorrow that send this thing skyrocketing up because more stimulus is coming? Yes. Is it possible we get some good numbers that sends this up because, it looks like things are improving? Yes. Look, I don't think that this was the high. This was our take profit target. It's possible we hit this resistance or even come close to all-time highs sometime this summer. I just think it's time to get out, get neutral. Neutral's a really good position to observe from. You'll make better trades the more you're neutral. It's time to get neutral. We're waiting for a pullback at this point. Look at that nice support. That is where things become attractive. If we start coming into this, the fear level is going to be rising. Everyone is going to be calling that top again, and we're going to be looking for that resumption to buy. If we break down, we'll cover it. We'll be all over it. Don't worry. I'll be there with you. We're in this together. We're a team. We are a team. No, I don't know about that, GP. I just don't have a scenario where it goes down. I think now's the time to get out. And just get on the sidelines. Nasdaq, again, it does. I understand what you're saying here when you say it looks like it's losing steam, but at the same time, it's consolidating above all-time highs. It is bullish. And the Dow coming up this morning, what's the futures doing? Not so much. They're lagging for good reason. All right, let's get into the fun stuff. By the way, let's start with the dollar. You're the best. Thank you all. Oh, I don't think we're going to see inflation for a long time. We are in an uber deflationary environment. QE is deflationary, and we are in a deflationary environment. Now, eventually, the Fed keeps printing. And when I talk about keeps printing, listen, regardless of who wins this election, November, if we find out in November, I doubt it. Regardless of who wins, we're going to see lots of increase in the government's balance sheet, in the Fed's balance sheet. Eventually, the inflation is going to catch up. I think we still have a while to go. Pedro, that's too aggressive. That's awesome that you did that. That's way too over leveraged, way too aggressive. Pedro, join that. Now that you did that and now you have a base to work off, join the course, start trading methodically with a strategy that's going to work over time. Gary, so how is QE deflationary? Listen, that's your homework today. It's a simple search into a search engine. Why is QE deflationary? Don't print why is printing money deflationary. Search why is QE deflationary. It's a universally known and accepted, and you could get some really good answers so that you understand that. But if you don't understand yet that QE is deflationary, then the last 12 years have escaped you. All inflation will do is push gold and silver. Yeah, once we get there, and we will get there. So the dollar, let's check out the dollar over here, by the way, as it enters a consolidation area over here. And you can see that we have our little handy guide, right? When I say it enters a consolidation area, look at this. There you go. And now we have the bottom, right? Until we break out of this area, best to stand aside on the dollar. There's no clue. Could that happen tomorrow after non-farm payroll? Maybe. Or maybe we get some boom, boom. Maybe we get some whipsaw. I don't know. We're in the summer. Let me point that out to you because things have been very, 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 volatile. So the dollar's giving us no edge this morning or today. We've entered that little bit of consolidation area. That's a hint as we're going to get into the FX this morning. Because what's this doing? Same thing, consolidating. Really? I didn't know that. You got to give it to the countries that are playing the long-term chess game. You really do. Let's look at what's going on this morning with silver. Oh my goodness. Max, let's get a thumbs up if you're in here. Look at this. Is just is going parabolic, right? So 29.50, wow. I can't believe this quickly we're approaching this support over here at 26.23. That's 7% down from where we are right now, right? Is that correct? And this is 24.50. The next support is 15. Do you have buy orders in for either one of those? Yeah, that's a 7% drawdown into the next area of support. They're almost 13 and a half to the following one. Pretty good eye. Yeah, both of those levels, if you get the pullback, what are you doing? Yeah, that's coming in a lot faster. That's coming in a fat. Sold silver yesterday. The bull market is just beginning in precious metals over here. Gold now making new all-time highs, setting it off. Silver not even close to all-time highs. It is now more, it's catching up, but it is still a good ways away. 29.50, our target. Things are unfolding a lot quicker than normal, right? I think that we're not only eventually coming to test the all-time high on silver. Silver will take a look at $50 eventually, in my opinion. And, would you be like, if I told you that like $100 silver is way more than reasonable, would you think that's crazy? Absolutely not. Of course it is. If you're selling silver now, I really think the correct mindset to have as precious metals are entering this bull market over here. If you looked, I've been talking about it a lot. And if you see over here, we have, we're going to need the Fed's Mester saying we're going to need much more fiscal support, $10 trillion. You've heard these numbers from myself as well. If you're getting out of precious metals as the bull market's getting started, I think it's much better to have the mindset that you're looking on pullbacks to add to your position. But taking profits will get you left behind. I've talked about this a lot on Bitcoin. As we enter the bull market, there's going to be explosive moves to the upside. And people who try to trade it, meaning take profits and then they're going to buy back in lower, are going to wind up buying back in higher because they're getting left behind. Don't listen. We trade FX. We trade FX, and right now, gold, silver, Bitcoin, right? Ethereum you're looking to position in and ride the waves. Oh, yes. Let's get it. Uber. Uber parabolic. There it is. I love it. I'm trying to catch up a second. Wow. That would be phenomenal. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. A good spouse. So Brad, excellent question, by the way. I don't want to lead you the wrong way over here. Let me take a second. Brad, because, all right, let me read the question, then we'll go over this. With the consolidation that we're seeing right now in the DXY, are you looking to close out US dollar trades that you've had for the last couple of weeks? So if some people are holding trades against the US dollar, for example, on the euro right now, right? What do you do now? Are you looking to close these out? Do you maybe have your stop loss under here, under this little bit of, why would you put your stop loss here right now? I'm not. I am still holding the Australian dollar and euro Japanese trades. And yeah, tomorrow we have non-farm payroll. There's going to be some volatility. I was wondering what I should do. I haven't yet made up my mind. I'm not holding any US dollar trades. And if you are, Brad, then I'm going to share some analysis, and I want you to make the decision, right? So I'm looking at right now, and what I believe, because this is a big move we just came off of, right? Look, expansion, consolidation, expansion. It looks to me now we just entered consolidation, right? Now, is it possible we break this range as early as tomorrow, right? Because we have a volatile event coming in. I have a feeling, and listen, this is just a feeling. I just have a feeling tomorrow we're going to see some whipsaw. That's my opinion. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But over here, is it possible we break out of this range tomorrow? Yeah, it's possible. Like Brad and everyone, it's possible that this is, we don't have a name yet for this setup, but if you break that resistance right from here, it's possible, and that would be bad. It just looks to me like we're entering some consolidation. If you're on the right side of the trade, and the right side of the trade right now is definitely against the dollar, and if you're holding these longs, maybe putting a stop loss to lock in profit below the last swing low is a good idea, because if that hits, you want to be out of the trade, right? You have this long support line going back 12 years. This is the euro US dollar. You have this last bit of local support that's now put in. If you break it, all right, do you still want to give this trade to room to roam over here? Is it possible that we continue to break out to the upside? I mean, that's where the momentum is. If you're holding and pushing a trade, Brad, that's what you want to do. I know that, you mentioned yesterday that you were seeing some really good results the last couple of weeks. And that's because, what did you do? You think you moved your stop losses away a little bit. You're in that mindset of looking to push those trades, and you're seeing results. I'm not trying to get you out of a good trade. Just provide some analysis for you to make your own judgments. I need to catch up a second on some comments over here. That's a good one over there. The right side of the market. That sounds like a podcast, right? The right side of the market. So another good name for a podcast, not financial advice. Awesome. I got out of that trade. Did I get out of that trade too soon? I want to find out with you right now. US dollar, Swiss franc. Nope. I got out right there on the circle. There we are back there. Now, I should have added back here. I should have added over here. Why? Look at that big level over here as we broke through it. Retest. What do we do in downtrends? We sell resistance. There was the resumption down, back now to the low. That's the trade I missed this week. The trade that, I should have been there. But this was such a good trade. That was such a good trade. I think that listen, you got to be able, you really got to be able to really look at your mistakes. And mistakes could be just things that you didn't do. The markets aren't crashing. Everyone's looking for the market to crash. This question comes up a lot, so we'll talk about it right now. It's a good one. What's going to happen to gold and silver and Bitcoin if the markets come off the next few weeks, right? If the markets come off next few weeks, we're not looking for the markets to go like that. We're looking more of like some type of, move into this, I believe, into this sweet spot over here. What happens if everyone's looking for the markets to crash, though? I don't think the markets are going to crash. By the way, historically, when do markets crash, right? September, October. In August, it doesn't, go back and look at past market crashes. September, October is definitely a hot spot, right? August, we're not expecting a market crash. We just believe it's time to take profit and get neutral. Why would we take profit and get neutral? Well, we're up towards resistance. We're up towards the upper end of this channel. We're up towards the resistance. Could we get another spike to all-time highs and then come down? Yep, maybe. But it's neither here nor there, right? Right now, the risk to reward is not there on equities. What happens if equities come off a little bit? Are we going to see gold and silver come off a little bit too? Listen, when we were over here, everyone thought that silver was way overbought. Everyone thought silver was way overbought. It just is what it is. It is what it is. And that's when I said, well, we're looking actually for that resistance over there at 24.50, right? We hit it. And to me, that was overbought. I didn't expect that spike up. Here you had the 15% drawdown. Some of you, Jim, I know you got that. Awesome on you. And then once we were here together, we stayed neutral. Remember? All of this, we stayed neutral. Remember? And then over here, we said, all right, if we break that resistance, we're going up. And then we're targeting 29.50. We're headed in that direction. Is there a good chance that we reach it now? I mean, we're halfway there. I don't, have we come a little too far too fast? Don't think like that. The only way to think right now on silver, I'm talking about right now, by the way, if you're here this morning and you're happy to be here, smash that like button. Do help support the channel. Appreciate that little bit of support. If we get any pullbacks, this is right now on silver, a 7% pullback, right? Buy, right? This is 13.5% pullback. We're looking to buy. That's our only thought process really when it comes to gold, silver right now is we're looking to buy pullbacks. What kind of pullback do we need on gold? 3 to 5% pullbacks, right? Here's a 3% pullback. 4% pullback takes us into the next support. Are you a buyer there? That would be I am, right? That's the way to look at it. Don't worry what happened. The equity markets are not crashing. Stop looking for the equity markets to crash. They're not crashing. Listen, Bitcoin too, in a different scope. For me personally, I'm just giving you my long-term view of Bitcoin over here. This is an overview. And after this, we're going to check out WTI really quick. And then we're going to get back. We're going to go through the FX pairs in strong fashion this morning. We're going to blow through them and see what's going on. Maybe people do want to take some profits off the table today, or maybe people want to get ready for Monero's got a good use case, privacy. Yeah, we'll look at Monero too. I want everyone clear. I think the next move on Bitcoin is into the 14,000 area, right? Whether or not it's 14,000 or 1350 in that area, and then from there, I'm looking for the first 30% pullback. I don't necessarily believe that will trigger the 30% pullback. It could, and if it does, that takes us all the way back here to the breakout of the bull market. That's fine and healthy. You want to buy that first 30%. You want to buy that first 30% pullback on Bitcoin. Now, and I'm looking to buy it strongly. But if we could go higher, we could go to 15. We could go to 16 before we get that first 30% pullback. Just want everyone to be sure. Will, I wonder about this August. Will, So true story. Every single August, I wonder about this. Is this time different? For sure. For every single August, every single December, is this time different? Yeah, it is always different, and it's always the same. Any way you look at it, people are working from home. Yep. By the way, for those of you who have wounded hearts, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you. And that was you. That was you. You know who you are. You hear me ringing in your ear right now. I'm sorry for you, brother. Prayers to you. Is this time different? No, this time is not different. As we head into late August over here, do expect volumes will be down. It's not a good time to trade. It's actually a good time, right? Hey, this August for everyone should be a good time for everyone to really focus on getting ready, really focused for September, for the fall, because we've had a great year. This has been a good year for trading. This has been a great summer for trading. July offered lots of gifts, right? Now's the time for us to get focused. What could you do? Start working on yourself. If you're not getting enough sleep, do something to improve your sleep, even if it's sleep 30 more minutes a day. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Stop using devices at night. If you're not eating well, you have to start working on your diet, exercise, anything you can do. Start watching Impact Theory on YouTube. Start watching Impact Theory on YouTube. Anything that you can do to improve your overall positivity, your overall mindset. Let's make this useful these last couple of weeks of August. Start going for walks a few days a week. Start going for runs, riding the bike, doing some push-ups throughout the day, really getting focused here. And we're going to make this fall a really good time. Melatonin works. I have to, almost every Friday night, like clockwork, I have to take some melatonin because I don't get enough sleep during the week. So the name of the channel is Conquer Trading and Investing. I am both. Now, by the way, you're not an investor if you are looking for you don't have to be a value investor to be an investor. That's actually some dinosaur stuff. Right? So I'm talking about, right? How have we positioned ourselves for the next year, 2, and 3? Those are investments, right? Bitcoin, gold, silver. Yeah, I'm an investor. And I'm also a trader. So they both go hand in hand. Thank you, Gemma. You all are awesome. You are all awesome. So, Andre, there's a good question over here. There's a question over here. For guys who want to invest long Bitcoin but don't currently own Bitcoin, do you suggest we buy now or should we wait for the anticipated 30% pullback? In my opinion, you should buy now. And you should be aware. You should be open to the possibility that your investment could see a 30-35% drawdown. You got to be mentally prepared for it. And if that happens, you should be prepared to buy more. If you don't own any Bitcoin, the opinion that I would give my little brother or my mother, who's 81 years old, is you should buy Bitcoin right now. Obviously, for my brother, it would be a larger allocation than for my mother, which would be a 1% allocation, right? But should she have a 1% allocation to Bitcoin? It's reckless not to. But I do think that buying now, having the knowledge that it's possible to have a 30-35% drawdown and be prepared for that if it happens, and then at the same time be ready to step in and buy more. If we come back down and we close that CME gap, you better be a buyer. You better be prepared now. Yeah, Corey. Are you kidding? You're in. You're off zero. Luke, you're off zero. That's awesome. No. I think silver is overextended. I would not be buying silver now. Someone bought silver yesterday. They got it worked out well. I would not be, and that we're up 5% from there. I would not be buying silver here at all. You know, and I'm not saying it's not going higher or anything like that. An object in motion could stay in motion. Oversold, overbought can remain overbought. Oversold can remain oversold. It's when markets become overbought and oversold that the big moves happen. I'm not a buyer here, but over here, on any 7% drawdown and 15% of drawdown, I would look to add to silver. Does that mean that we go up higher and then have the pullback and maybe you buy back where we are today? Maybe, but it's just safer in my opinion. Yeah, that's a lot. But silver, by the way, gold, does anyone think that gold is overvalued at $2,000? I do not think that gold is overvalued or even close to being overvalued. Silver right now is historically undervalued compared to gold. All right. Silver right now is undervalued compared to gold. And if you think that gold is not overvalued right now, and I do not, then silver is not overvalued. So silver, and by the way, great, Murray, great stat right there. Great stat right there. And we looked at yesterday, silver had been up 13 of the last 14 trading days, which has never happened before. And now it's up, one more, 14 out of 15. So yeah, it's overbought, but it's not overvalued. What is the historic average between gold to silver ratio? I don't know it offhand. If anyone does, please type it into the comments. But right now, silver is undervalued compared to gold. By the way, WTI, right? What did we do? I didn't forget about Monero. We're going to look at Monero. WTI, a lot of people all of a sudden wanted to buy yesterday. Don't chase that momentum. It remains sideways and unexciting. There's so much exciting things happening. I've seen lots of, talk about executive orders coming in. I think it's like a negotiating tool. I think it's a negotiating tool. Yeah, I mean, $50 price target on silver seems a little bit low to me. Yep, that's a great way to word it. It's not overvalued, but it looks overextended. You were very nice in your choice of the word little. It's a lot. It seems to be a lot overextended right now. Let's look at Monero, right? Chart looking very bullish over here. By the way, the game is the same. By the way, the course that we is mostly geared towards foreign exchange, meaning that is the best market, in my opinion, to be trading, to be swing trading. The foreign exchange, smooth trends, very technical, support and resistance. It's the same exact thing in precious metals and or cryptocurrency and or in the equity markets. And if you get to our second goal, consistently profitable, 1% a month, right, for 3 months in a row, at that point you're ready to go after any market. This is a pullback over here, a significant pullback, 15%, right? On all crypto also, as Altseason hasn't started. It's getting there. It will be starting. You are looking to buy all pullbacks, right? What about Monero, right? Do I think so? Whether it's Cardano, Monero, whether it is XRP, or even EOS, I think all of these things are gonna moon. A rising tide lifts all boats. Bitcoin is the rising tide. There's no doubt we're gonna have an alt season. Because what happens this Christmas when everyone's together with the family and everyone's talking about Bitcoin, as it's either at or near all-time highs, right? Everyone's going to be like, man, it's too expensive. They don't realize that you could buy $100 worth of Bitcoin or $100 worth of Monero. It's the same exact thing. It's not, or $100 of XRP. It's all the same thing because, but people are attracted to lower prices. It's why people buy penny stocks. They think they can make more money. What's a better investment? Going back a year, 2, 5, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, buying Amazon or buying some random penny stock? All right. So where are we? Yeah. Eventually, we're going to get there. Eventually, we're going to get there. But stocks are different. Now you could buy stocks. You could buy fractions of the stocks on apps like Robinhood and such and such. It's different buying. You can't buy in the past. You can't buy $100 worth of stock. You have to buy the full stock. Ethereum Classic experienced a 51% attack yesterday. Some hacker stole $5 million. Ethereum versus Ethereum Classic. One is decentralized, right? Or I guess they're both not, but they rolled back transactions on the Ethereum. That's kind of FUBAR, right? Rolling back transactions. But any which way, Ethereum over Ethereum Classic, in my opinion. I am invested into Ethereum, and I think Ethereum is going to rock. I'm looking at, this is my next price target area. I mean, the next one is 500, our next resistance, and then above there. I mean, we're headed there. I just don't know. Don't get mad at me. I don't know if Ethereum makes new all-time highs or not during the bull market. We'll find out. Either way, I'm rooting for Ethereum. So by the way, a 2x, leveraged position, a 3x maximum leveraged position. 5x is too much for myself. Does that make sense until it hits 14,000? Does that make sense until it hits 20,000? Does that make sense until it's 50,000? Yeah, I don't know. For me, it does, but I did get in a little bit lower, much lower. If Ethereum 2.0 works, it's going 2x all-time highs. I could buy that. If Ethereum 2.0 has issues, it will fall short. Absolutely, Brandon has nailed it. I mean, listen, I concur for whatever that's worth. But yeah, Brandon nailed it. I agree, Brandon. Well said, well articulated. No, I think options are, unless you're an expert, you should stay away. Unless you're an expert, you should stay away. Let's find out what's going on in FX right now. We're going to go through it. By the way, how much instead of thinking in how much leverage, we use a fraction of our leverage. A small fraction. You should be more focused on your risk per trade and how many trades you're taking. I think 9,500 could very well happen personally, and I also think 5x is too much. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let's check it out. We'll start with the US dollar, Mexican peso, coming back down into the area of support, resuming off. So, by the way, as we're looking at US dollar pairs this morning, let's just keep in mind that it appears that the US dollar has entered consolidation. Now, Brad, if you're listening, we are in a big downtrend over here, right? We've broken important technical levels. And, after consolidation, we're looking for another leg down. That's our base case. Now, is it possible we break out here to the upside? Yeah, it's possible. And then we run into some resistance pretty quickly, right? So that move might be muted. That could all happen. We'll be watching out for it. But generally, it looks like after consolidation, where we're leaning towards is another leg down. And if you're into, well, let's put it this way, Brad, if you're holding a couple of trades that are dollar-based, maybe it is a good idea to take profit on one, right? Or lock in that profit, right? Lock in that profit. Yeah. What's going on, Sammy? Glad you're here with us this morning. The reason I brought that up is because, so you could look at this two ways. You could look at this isn't an uptrend. You could look at this isn't an uptrend. I'm buying off this support if it resumes off this support. For me, no, I'm completely neutral. And this looks like it is in just consolidating between levels over here. Or you could say that April was the high over there. Fed started QE, opened up the swap lines, and now we're in a downtrend, right? So what do? You're selling off of resistance. That's where I'm more inclined. That's where I'm more inclined when it comes to US dollar, Mexican peso. But I've moved away. I'm completely neutral. There's nothing exciting there for me at all. Let's take a look. Markets definitely focused on tomorrow's non-farm payroll right now. That's where the market's focused. We're into some resistance. So Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. This looks interesting. This looks like we have now pulled back into support. That is definitely over here, yellow flagged. And so I'm going to be flagging a couple of things. Tomorrow, I'm a little aware that we could see some whipsaw, around those numbers. The market might not know how to digest it, whether they're good or bad. The market might know how to adjust it. You could also see a very bad print that the market sells off of, and that it's immediately bought because then everyone's like, more stimulus is coming. I think tomorrow's going to be a volatile day. We'll see. But this is pulled back over here into a support now in an uptrend, right? That was the breakout over here, by the way. I missed that. I was very bearish on the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen at this point. But there was the breakout. There was the retest and then the resumption, right? And then since we've been in an uptrend, you're now pulled back into support in an uptrend. Yeah, welcome. That's great to hear. I'm super glad. Super glad that you did that and really looking forward to working with you. Awesome. Clint, thank you for that. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day. US dollar continuing to get wrecked. All right, let me keep going today. I want to get focused in the flow over here, and then we can have some fun talking about whatever we want to talk about. But right now, yep, I want to get into all of these FX pairs. So I'll jump over to the Euro Australian dollar first. No problem. Euro Australian dollar, right? So this was, again, my breakout over here. I tried to take this one. It never worked out. Since the breakout, and it's not as clean as we just looked at the Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, but now you had the retest, and now, boom. Do I think we're in an uptrend? I don't know. When I don't know, or whenever my voice starts hesitating, that's a clear signal to me that that I'm just going to avoid it. So use that yourself. If you're looking at a trade and you're unsure, at that point, realize that you're hesitating and just keep moving on, looking for something else. I don't really have an edge over here, and more than that, and I think this is many of the crosses right now. We're going to find that out this morning, but we are looking at a lot of sideways action. I do not want to be caught up in sideways price movement. I avoid sideways markets. I'm looking for pairs that on a swing trader's time frame could move multiple support or resistance levels. So stay away over there right now. Boom, 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 boom. John, sincerely and with all my heart, what does 5% risk mean? That if the trade gets stopped out for wherever your stop loss is, that you risked and lost 0.5% of your account. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Greg was looking at with me this morning the Euro Canadian dollar. Let's take a look over here. Oh, this is the cup and handle that a lot of you have spotted. And you can see over here, look at that beautiful cup. By the way, if anyone is looking for a series to watch on Netflix, Snowpiercer is absolutely amazing. And then you could see, Greg and everyone, the pullback into the support and the resumption off of it. That's the entry. It's a great entry, right? It's a great entry without the cup and handle. With the cup and handle, it's even better, right? What do? Where's your stop loss, right? Listen, if you take out the swing low, I would have a tight stop loss on this one. I would have a tight stop loss on this one, but it's a good looking trade. We're in an uptrend. We pull back into support, and now we're resuming off. So don't overthink it. It's a great looking trade. And there it is. The movie, we'll have to watch the movie afterwards. Roman, it's well written. It's complicated, but each episode is riveting. Excellent. I haven't seen the movie. I didn't know there was a movie, but I will be looking. Watch the movie first. Okay. We're going to abort. Gene, thank you for that. It's funny. There are two types of people. There are people who are looking to take the course because they're looking for that really to find out that strategy in order to get themselves first to break even or better, and then working towards consistently profitable. And then, from consistently profitable, once you reach there, and we have a bunch of you there now already, getting to the final goal of 2 to 3% per month, 36% per year. That's insane. Yeah. And then there's those who just want to say thank you. They're not even swing traders or to even trade the foreign exchange markets. By the way, the course, why the instruction is geared towards the foreign exchange market, because it's the best market, in my opinion, to trade. It's the same exact concept on all markets. Buying off support, selling off resistance around trend lines and chart patterns with really, really good risk management. It's a winning formula. And there are those who don't even do that, and they just want to say thanks because we've helped them position into some really profitable positions. They feel good about life right now because they're not like so concerned, and like a lot of people stress out over their investments. Are they doing the right thing? Right now, those that are positioned into Bitcoin, precious metals, they feel really good. They feel really good. That depends on, Tom. That depends on what you're talking about. Because again, I am conquer trading and investing. Do you think that a 10,000? No, you could have that's a great place, by the way. Before we continue going through the FX over here, which I really want to do this morning. If you're looking at 10,600, the support that we tested over there, that we pierced right over here, is that a good place to have an order in? If you got filled there, I'd be very happy. That's a great fill. I don't think that we're going to come back and fill that. I'm aware that we could close, we could be trading down and test this breakout over here at any time. And if that happened, I would be totally comfortable with that. I would add over there if that happened. I would add over there. Is it a good idea to have a limit order at 10,600? Sure. If it doesn't get filled, it doesn't get filled, but that's a great place. That's a great place. Murray, I've taken the course to trade gold and silver. That's why I like to focus on, at least for the short term. I would like to get a deep understanding of. So Murray, what I want you to do, since you're like, if you have an attraction towards gold and silver and you're in that bull market, that's fantastic. I want you to continue to focus on that. But Murray, you got to push yourself to an uncomfortable zone over here. I want you to really work the course by doing exactly what I lay out. I want you to have that whole watch list built of the FX pairs, right? And I want you to be doing your daily analysis on the FX pairs. Have your support, your resistance drawn in, looking for our setup. And I want you to be practicing there and taking it, because you're going to get many more opportunities than you are on gold and silver. And I want you to do that on a demo. It's going to make you a better trader, so that when you're getting those signals on gold and silver, you're going to have much more confidence and much more clarity. Same time frame, Murray, also on the 8-hour on gold and silver. And also, Murray, I really would really like you to consider also not just gold and silver, but looking at various cryptocurrencies. Looking at various cryptocurrencies, right? Even if it's not into FX. Crypto, it's the same exact strategy, whether you're talking about trading crypto, gold, silver, or FX. But do your training on FX. Hey, happy birthday, Reza, to your son. Congratulations. That's awesome. Big happy birthday. Tacos. Yeah, copper's not that exciting. People are looking for perhaps further growth in copper if we see some infrastructure projects being built, not just in the U.S. but around the world. Palladium more scarce than gold. I don't know because I don't ever follow them, but I do believe that gold and silver are outperforming both right now. Of course, last year palladium led the way, right? But I think right now gold and silver are outperforming. That's not my thing. I don't know. I'm into money, right? That's why I like Bitcoin. That's why I like gold. That's why I like silver. Have you tried to get pre and after market? No, I have not. I don't mess around with those stonks. Yeah, I'm right in that 2 to 3% range. I'm right in that 2 to 3% range. July, right? It was a good month. Held on to gains, held on to trades in order to meet my goals for August. But right over there, Tom. Exactly where everyone should ultimately be who takes the course. Now, I don't have any GBTC, by the way, for all those invested in GBTC. I am. It's just a way to play Bitcoin inside the equity markets. I don't look at it. I don't trade it. It's a long-term investment. When I exit Bitcoin, I'll exit GBTC. Yeah, go back to the very beginning. Go back to the very beginning of this live stream. We take a really good look at silver and gave the levels where you should look for the pullback to buy silver. The next two supports on silver, but we'll pull it up. The next two supports on silver, right over here at 26.23, that's a 7% pullback. And then over here, the next support at 24.50, that's a 13.5% pullback. Either one of those is where you should be looking to buy. Should you buy here? No. As Murray said, this is overextended for sure. I'm not anymore, Rex. I'm not personally, because I'm not trading Bitcoin. I'm invested into Bitcoin. I'm not buying Bitcoin until we have the next time I add to my Bitcoin positions will be after our 30% pullback. You know what, Roman? There's two things. Write this down really quick, please. There is a podcast. Actually, Roman, I'm going to have to find it and get it for you. It was about a year and a half ago that I listened to it. It's a podcast with the founder of ARK, A-R-K Investments. Her name escapes me right now. It was on their own podcast where she interviewed Elon Musk. So that's an easy one to find. Just search ARK Investments, Elon Musk. Look for the interview. It's about a year and a half ago when Elon was interviewed on the podcast. That's a really good one. It talks about the lithium batteries. And then I think the other one that's the one to look for. Kathleen Wood. Thank you. Kathy Wood. Look for Kathy's interview of Elon Musk, and I believe it's in that podcast where she's definitely an expert, or Kathy Woods. She's an expert. I'm not. That's what you're looking for. Yep, for everyone. I tried to get my family to understand. I'm glad I got whoever I could. Kathy Woods, she's made some really good investments. Silver is actually needed for the production of solar cells and batteries. And we're looking, great comment, because we're looking at possibly, for sure, if Biden's elected, we're going to see a huge renewable energy push that is really going to help bid up the price of silver. And right, we looked at yesterday. That's the only chart we looked at yesterday in yesterday's afternoon update. If you liked that video yesterday, please go ahead, smash the like button. And we looked at that silver mining is down. Great comments. Yeah, so it's a great question. I'm going to, you said that you're looking to exit Bitcoin in the winter of 2021. Why would I exit if you're invested? I mean, for me, 18 months is a pretty big investment time horizon because I'm trading Bitcoin around its bull and bear market cycles that occur within its 4-year cycle. The reason Bitcoin has a 4-year cycle is because of the halving of the miner rewards that takes place every 4 years. That causes both a bull market and it also causes a bear market. If you do not exit in the winter of 2021, you're going to hold through an 85% drawdown on Bitcoin. I am going to exit Bitcoin and then I'm going to buy back in about 15 months to the next halving at the low of Bitcoin. It's much smarter than simply holding through those drawdowns. Plus, I get to really increase my overall Bitcoin holdings. Well, Dennis, excited to be working with you. I'm glad that you did enroll, and that's awesome. No, that's a great question, Tom. Tom's asking if I have a mentor that I bounce trade ideas off of. I never had that luxury because I'll tell you what, there's no question when I started trading, or even when I went full time, if I had access to a community like this, then there's no way that, my learning curve would have been drastically reduced. Drastically reduced. I don't. I wish I did. But what's interesting about the time we live in is right now you could go listen to a podcast with Kathy talking to Elon, right? And this is it's quite amazing. You could be in a cabin in the middle of nowhere in God's country, and you could be connected to all these conversations, right? And all these thoughts and tune into them. So, in a way, the same way that all of us get to listen to all these different types of mediums, all these people are our mentors, right? In a way. Day trading Bitcoin has been amazing with this viewpoint. Do you personally have any advice on trading Bitcoin short term as an investor? So I prefer trading the FX markets. I look for high probability trades. Bitcoin's volatile. Bitcoin is very volatile, right? And when I say that, look at that. What is it? That's a 12.5% drawdown in hours on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really volatile, right? Now you could position yourself accordingly. You could only even be risking 0.5% on that trade. And anyone trading right now as we enter as Bitcoin, and then right after Ethereum entered their bull markets, and soon we're going to see all of cryptocurrencies in bull markets. Anyone who's focused in on trading the cryptocurrency markets right now, if you're doing it smart, if you're doing it with our strategy, it's going to work out and be fantastic. And again, like I was saying, I think Murray should do that. Now, I'm more interested in high probability trades. Look at that. That's a high probability trade. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, right? Pulled back into support, resuming off of it this morning, overnight. Did we have that highlighted? How did I miss that? That's the trade that I'm looking for. I wasn't looking for trades. I'm concerned about getting in before tomorrow. I'm just holding on to 2 trades that are open. That's a high probability trade. It's, you think as a new trader that you need volatility to make money. That's not the case. You're going to lose money. You're looking for clarity. You're looking for high probability setups. You're looking to layer edge upon edge. By the way, I want to go back over all of my live streams, specifically in the March, April area. I want to put together I can't say the word. I want to put together all the little golden nuggets of wisdoms shared and put those together, make a video like that. If it draws down 80% after the next halve, if it draws down 80% with no future halving, what happens after that? Anthony, I'm not really are you saying what happens if I'm not understanding the question? If Bitcoin were to draw down 50%, the bull market would be over. Forget 80%. If Bitcoin were to draw down 50%, the bull market would be over. Yeah, you're my mentors. That's true. Yeah. No, but for real, like for real, how do you sell off resistance? No, I use no. I used stop limit orders, sell stop orders. You should really look into definitely working with us. How often do you back trade? I don't know what that is, Rex. I'm not sure what that is. I want to get into those FX pairs. I just want to catch up and see if there's any comments that we should talk about. Would you override the Bitcoin 18-month holding target if the technicals become bearish in order to avoid the 85% drawdown? No. Of course. When you say the technicals, if we saw a breakdown on Bitcoin, we'll be there. Listen, there was a breakdown. Let me talk about it. Let me illustrate it for you this way. There was a big breakdown in Bitcoin over here, right over here. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go to a 3-day time frame to give you a clearer overview, and then I'm going to show you right over here. This trend line I have over here. I'm sorry. Yeah, this trend line right here, our prime trend line. Let me highlight it for you. That one that I've used then to clone for the rest of them. I don't think this ever would have broke over here if we did not have that liquidity crisis, right? Bitcoin never would have broke this trend line over here if we did not have that liquidity crisis. So the technicals broke down, but that caused me to buy Bitcoin further where I didn't plan. It caused me to buy Bitcoin further instead of abandoning the trade and exiting, even though the technicals broke down. So I guess to answer your question, Andre, no, there's nothing that's going to, outside of Bitcoin having a bug in it. It's software. It could have a bug in it. Outside of a catastrophic bug in the Bitcoin software, going on as planned. Oliver, thank you so much, man. Thank you for being a part of this community and always uplifting myself and those around us. Yep, Matt, I did a video. You can go back to the channel. It's the only one with cryptocurrency in the title. It was released not this past Saturday, the Saturday before, and it talks about the altcoins that I'm invested in. I do believe altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin. Nevertheless, I go where their clarity is. I am over 50% of my overall portfolio into Bitcoin. Yeah. Love it. I don't think they own any yet, Jim. That would be interesting, and I could be behind the curve on that. I think they're doing everything they can to protect the dollar. Can you imagine the U.S. gets left behind in the race to accumulate Bitcoin of other countries? If Russia came out and was like 2 years from now, they're like, "Yep, we have a big Bitcoin position. This is what we've been accumulating." Every other country, including the U.S., then is playing from behind and needs to catch up. Mike, thank you. Let's try to get 400 thumbs up today. That would be awesome. That's up to me. I'm going to go through these pairs in a minute and try to earn those thumbs up. Thanks for the great morning. Thank you, Model 3 Life. Hold. You gotta hold and push those trades. By the way, I shared. I think I retweeted this yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. This one over here. You need to understand this before anything else. To have big winning trades, you have to let your winning trades run. You have to sit down and you have to understand this. You have to understand this. If you've ever held on to a losing trade, and I have. My hand goes up first. If you ever held on to a losing trade, you understand it's the opposite, right? Did you ever get into a trade and then just start moving the stop loss, and then all of a sudden that trade go against you and go against you and go against you? You want to do the opposite. There's no way that you could hold on to. You're not going to get to 100,000 Bitcoin if you're taking profits at 13,000. To keep your losses small, you have to cut those losers short. That's the easiest thing in the world for me. I'm always know where my stop loss is as soon as I get into the trade, and I'm out of the trade if it's wrong, if it's hit. You need both to be a profitable trader. There's no question about it. This means to get this, the only way you could push trades is understanding that a portion of your trades that were in profit are going to be stopped out either at a loss or in break even. You have to be mentally comfortable with that, and you have to embrace it. You have to be completely detached from it and it not bother you. There's no way. You do need both to be a profitable trader. Take the course. You need both to be a profitable trader. The only way you could do that is by pushing those trades. There's nothing truer in trading than that. That's a good follow, by the way, Steve Burns on Twitter. If you're not following him already, it's a good follow for sure. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And I hope that I hope that next crash is a long ways away. 6 years. That's what I hope. Thoughts on Tesla? Yesterday we started looking at Tesla and we saw that Tesla started to consolidate, right? Now the thing about it is that, the equity markets, in my opinion, at this point, the risk to reward is not there. We are, I understand the Nasdaq's at all-time highs. S&P's up at resistance. Dow's still lagging the June highs. I see consolidation. It means to me a move's coming. I would feel more comfortable having the opportunity to buy Tesla off of resumption if you test that this trend line that's forming, possibly forming. There's nothing here yet. Possibly forming. If you get another touch though, and a resumption off, that becomes attractive. I don't see I don't see an area to look for to buy this out of the consolidation on a break to the upside. Neutral on Tesla right now, I think. Backtest your trades? No, do not. No. You have to forward test your trades. You have to forward test your trades. Do not backtest your trades. That's a losing man's game. I have a true story. I have a close friend, used to work for NASA. Now he works for Google. He put an antenna on some satellite when he worked for NASA. He loved it, but he worked in their AI division, and Greg is a really good coder. And then, I remember back around 2009, he started going to some conferences on investing and trading. And, he wanted to develop some type of profitable algorithm. There's a reason computer scientists can't do that because they're not traders. Backtesting a bunch of data is only going to lead to curve fitting. And as soon as you start forward testing, it's going to fail. Do not backtest. Do not backtest. That's a losing man's game. Now, I'm not going to get into developing systems with you because that's not really what I'm trying to do here with y'all. And when I mean that, I'm not going to go into how you should be. Of course, in order to develop a thesis on a profitable trading system, you have to be, looking at past data to come up with some type of base of that system. But again, I'm not going to get into that with you. Good morning, Marcos. Yeah, because we're looking for that consolidation. We're looking for that consolidation right now. Let me take a look over here and see what's going on the 8 hour on the DXY. Not too much. And on the Euro US dollar, not too much. All right, we're consolidating. I think the best broker, in my opinion, and I still have. I'm always looking for the risk in anything I do. The first thing I do is look at the other side of the trade and the risk. I just did yesterday. I bought more Bitcoin off of BlockFi. There's a link below in the description that if you're using it anyway, might as well support the channel. They pay 6% interest on Bitcoin holdings, 8.6 on stable coins. Right now, you should not be holding dollars, in my opinion, but looking for that Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's the only thing I use to buy Bitcoin over the last 6 weeks, and it's the best experience I've had. Kathy Wood. Pound Swiss franc. Let's check it out. What's going on? Bad resistance line, by the way. All right. That's not drawn very nicely. All right. Let me fix this line I have over here. The reason I'm fixing it, you could see I went look at the support over here. That was then mildly resistance over here. Again, resistance. It's a good line. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It's a good line. That's why I have it over there. Follow where we held as support, and you could see this is where we peaked down the wick, right? That's is where the body started. You could see here that was resistance. I wasn't focused in on this pair, right? You could see that was resistance, and then over here, resistance, resistance. So everyone could see that that was also support, right? Very, very clear. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm just going to put it right down over there. I want you all to be able to see that. And that's where, we bounced off of. That is a clear buy signal. There were lots of signals. I slept on that. There were lots of signals overnight. Hey, Craig. Thanks, brother. Glad that you're here with us. And, really, man, so this is sincere. And yesterday, the questions asked on the live stream, the last 30 minutes, were so much fun for me. You guys have such interesting thoughts. It really is inspiring to me. Same thing, the comments on discussions on the afternoon videos. That's really where, someone pointed out, I should bring it up actually in this afternoon's video. They were talking about where would be the proper place to exit precious metals. I told them, listen, I'm kind of stuck on the charts. That's what I have to rely on. What you were talking about here, I would like to know more about, right? And I'll focus in on that comment this afternoon because a lot of you probably know a lot more about it than I do. And I would like to know about it because it seemed really, really useful. But anyway, Greg, good to have you here with us. Yeah, 100% it is. So this is something that I was thinking about this morning while I was making my coffee, and something that I'm going to be kicking myself for probably the rest of my life. Because you guys all know that I do not like individual equity companies, that I do not like the stock market. But nevertheless, going back, and that's why we'll get back to those videos earlier in the year, go for the highlights. Square is the only company that I have said has a great future. They've basically have placed the success of their company on Bitcoin. People were wondering during the crisis about Square because people know Square for point of sale systems, mom and pop retail. They're all closed. Where is Square going to make their money? Square had record second quarter earnings because of Bitcoin purchases. We looked at yesterday. It's right here. We looked at yesterday seeing Square's earnings just from Bitcoin alone as they released their earnings. Here, you got to charts speak for themselves. I prefer charts. Let's just look at the charts. I don't see it, so we're not going to do it. Maybe I retweeted it. If you're not following and want to, if you're not following more than my tweets, what I like and retweet, here it is. Square's revenue quarter by quarter. This is because of Bitcoin, and that's why you're seeing Square mooning right now. But this that you're seeing, first of all, this before this last bar was printed was an enormous trend. And then you put in this, can you imagine what this is going to look like 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months from now? This is a small little bar they just put in over here. This is revenue from Bitcoin sales. All right. Square, I wish I looked at this during the crisis. I looked at this trading right around $30. Now, I don't know, maybe $40. But I looked at it and I was like, now's the time to buy Square. But during the crisis, as me and everyone else obviously had much bigger problems to focus in on, why I wasn't projecting any type of move like this in the near term or anything close to it for a long term. For a long term, that's where I should have been buying. That's one that that's not gonna sit well with me for a while. Coinbase is absolutely horrific. Think of Coinbase as Facebook, the Facebook of crypto. But nevertheless, again, there's a link below, Benjamin, to BlockFi. BlockFi is like Coinbase was back in 2016, 2017. It is the easiest and best way to buy Bitcoin. Thank you, Mike. Roman, everyone, thanks for that support over there. Yeah, that's tough, brother. I feel you. That's tough to go through. I don't have any thoughts on Bitcoin miners whatsoever. It's not my forte. It's a very, very competitive and complicated space. It's very, very competitive. You need the lowest cost of energy and the best technology. But that's not my. I don't know. You guys want to look at Apple? I can't say anything about Apple except that this looks like. I can't say anything about Apple that's going to be helpful for you. There's no question to me this looks like at some point perhaps the beginning of a parabolic blow off on Apple. But at the same time, the printers are running and more is about to come. I don't know. I don't have any opinion whatsoever on this. I would absolutely run away. There's no way I would be looking for any type of entry. I'm definitely not going to sell it. I'm definitely not going to sell it. And I'm definitely not going to buy it. I don't have anything that I could add to the conversation to help you here. When there's uncertainty, I run away. Stu, this is such a hard question. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm not going over the FX pairs. I really want to do that with you all, but the conversations just lead. I'm kind of like, I just go with the flow, right? I'm following the price action. I'm going where the flow is. And, but as far as listen, I thought I understood Bitcoin. And then I went down a huge rabbit hole of spending about 2 years of intensive research into Bitcoin. And it's not easy. And then when you come out of that, you're like, okay, now I kind of get Bitcoin, but now I really don't even, there's so many people way smarter than me who have such a better understanding. The Bitcoin standard is a great resource. The Bitcoin standard is a phenomenal resource. That's not, necessarily only about Bitcoin, but about money. What else? The weekly recaps on Tales from the Crypt, I used to listen to for a long time. So I'll put that down as a good one. Tales from the Crypt, their weekly recap. For months I used to listen to that. What else is a good resource for Bitcoin? I believe that Plan B stock to flow model is an excellent resource. If you go back to who's this guy? Who knows? One of the original Bitcoin OGs. He kind of this past 6 months got started shilling scam projects, and since then has I don't remember his name. Stu, start with Tales from the Crypt, their weekly recaps, and the Bitcoin standard and Plan B stock to flow. That's what it seems like. Yeah, so we're looking at silver popping and continuing to pop, right? You're looking to buy we're looking to buy pullbacks. This support over here at 26.23, that's a 7% pullback. That's an area that you would like to lean into if we held that support and resumed off it. Otherwise, if we broke it, then you're looking back over here to the support at 24.50. That's strong support now. And that is also a 13.5% pullback. Either one of those would be where I would be looking. No, I have no idea. Anything's possible. I don't follow XLV and I don't know anything about it. It's scary, so I can't talk about it. Let's do them right now, Dinkar. We're going to do them right now. Let's go through the pound. Before we do, let me look at the dollar. All right, dollar entering our consolidation period over here. This is the game plan. This is the game plan for the dollar as we've entered this period now of consolidation. Until you get a breakout one way or the other, there's no edge here. And again, you're looking at expansion, consolidation, expansion. It looks like we've now entered a new consolidation period. With that in mind, let's take a look at what's going on the pound US dollar. And you could see that slight pullback as the dollar begins to consolidate. Look, this is above, I don't know. Let me get rid of this. Let me clean up my charts. Let me get my bearings because I've avoided the pound pairs. Let me get my bearings, right? Let's look at the 3-day for a second. Yeah. I don't like it. This is why I've been avoiding it. I just don't like it. This isn't a big downtrend, but ever since we're seeing that weak dollar, it's been the euro and the pound who have been making the most gains against it. While we were looking at the strong dollar and weak commodities, we were seeing the euro and pound all of this year were moderately strong. Not as strong as the dollar, but stronger than everything else. As the dollar has weakened, those two have become the leaders to the upside. Does that trend continue? As long as that dollar weakness does, you're into some resistance over here, right? You can see where my mouse is. You can see all that resistance over there. Not attractive to me. What would be attractive is if you break above that resistance at this point. If you break above this resistance at that point and then look for it to confirm it as support and another leg up. For me, I'm not interested at all. Let's look at the pound Japanese yen, right? Pound Japanese yen also some pretty heavy resistance it's into. There's no way that I'm looking to short this. I will not trade. The only pair that anyone should be looking to go long the yen in is against the dollar. And is going long the yen versus the dollar the smartest decision you can make? Probably not, because there are other more attractive pairs, whether it's the euro, pound, Australian dollar, or New Zealand dollar, or Canadian dollar. So pound Japanese yen, am I looking to, if this breaks down, this is resistance. You could sell resistance in a downtrend. I'm not looking to do that. I am actually looking at all yen pairs bottomed out during here as the Fed Fed reacted. Again, not attractive to me whatsoever. Are there any other pound pairs that you're looking at? Let's look at the euro pound. All right. This is coming into an area of support. Of this area of support held. Is that a buy signal coming off here? Yeah, it is. That's a potential buy to look at. I'm not interested in yellow flagging it because I'm not interested in it. But if this support holds over here and you resume off of it, that looks inviting. Yeah, I would have exited. Right? Is it possible you push into this resistance here or even this one? For sure. I would have exited as we made the lower low. If I didn't take that profit, I would have exited right there. Just been neutral. If you're still in this trade, all right, you go ahead and lock in your profits. The low right there of this bar, right? Which was the low right there. And maybe you go ahead and maybe you hit one of these two top take profits. Euro Japanese yen. Let's take a look. Yep, I'm still long this trade. I came pretty close to my take profit. Sometimes you could get a little too cute on what some of you are really good at knowing where to put your stop loss and take profit. But the problem is you're too good at it. You put it too precise. And sometimes if you notice that you come within a few pips of your take profit or you're getting stopped out and then price reverses, what you need to do is you need to be mindful of that. You need to put your stop losses a little bit wider and you need to bring in your take profits a little bit closer. I would have been happy taking profit up here, right? Instead of trying to get another 10 or 20 pips out of it. But nevertheless, this still looks very, very healthy. We've pulled back into this little area of local support right now. That's local support right over here. If that holds and resumes off, maybe we get another opportunity to hit that take profit goal. But not very exciting. What about the Australian dollar, Japanese yen? Let's take a look over there. Same thing. My take profit on this is higher. I'm looking to exit the euro Japanese yen first. I'm looking to take profit into that area up there on my second piece. That was my first take profit. I got so lucky on this trade, by the way. I didn't get stopped out at break even on my large portion of the trade by less than a pip. Luck is nice. I'm all good with luck. Sometimes we get lucky. But But ultimately, what I'm hoping happens over here, and this is interesting because I'm gonna relate this to the equity markets right now, is that this breaks out to the upside. If the Australian dollar breaks out, the Australian dollar, Japanese yen breaks out to the upside. By the way, if it breaks out to the downside, am I taking that trade? No. I would be looking for that support to lean into and to resume off of. I would become very interested over here on the Australian dollar, Japanese yen. I'm hoping that we break out to the upside here, right? That's what I'm hoping. If that's happening and we're seeing that further push on this risk off, do the equity markets have, do they have the all-time highs within their sights? And could that happen this summer? Yeah, everyone knows that I just went neutral on the equity markets. I because the risk to reward is not happening anymore. Do I think it's possible we hit this or even test the new all-time highs? Sure, I would not be surprised. Don't get mad at me if I got neutral and we go ahead and then we test up over here, right? Don't get mad at me. I just, when I say that, excuse me, let me take a sip here. Why I say that is because it just makes more sense now as we hit our target to get neutral, right? That's the safer trade. I'm looking for safety. I'm looking for high probability. I'm not looking to take risks. If you're not into silver and you want to get in, don't chase after it now. You missed the trade. We're preemptive of momentum. We don't chase after momentum. If you're buying silver today, you're FOMOing. You have the fear of missing out that this price is going higher and you're not getting involved in it. There will be further pullbacks on silver. Wait for them. Right now, that's your earliest and first opportunity to lean in. And just don't buy there. Wait for the resumption off. See if it holds or even lower, right? At 24.50. That's what you're looking for right now to buy into silver. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. Yeah, awesome. Dowie, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Have our live streams been going longer lately? No, I don't think so. I think right now again, we don't chase momentum. We got to get into you got to get into the trades before the explosion upwards. Bitcoin is not exploding up. Bitcoin is just starting, by the way. That's right, Thomas. It was extraordinarily hard to buy in March. And if anyone believed they knew what was happening back then, they're lying to you. The New York Attorney General has a major national announcement at 11:30. Could it affect the market? I don't know. I don't know. It sounds political. I have no idea. But I have no idea. Yeah, so Ethereum we'll take a look at right now together with happiness. We haven't even looked at it yet today. And, Ethereum looks like, again, we said this yesterday, not much has changed since yesterday, by the way. It's almost unchanged. But it looks like we're headed towards testing the spike high over there on Ethereum. So Ethereum, by the way, we did it. If anyone is here, and if you're here, probably you already hit the like button. But this is when I first positioned into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, and let you know all about it. And that's when I added to it, right? And also added to it over here, by the way, after we broke out, started the bull market, retested it, and then started resuming up. But that's the entry. The entry was down over here after breaking resistance, pulling back, testing it, and then resuming off. The entry is not up here right now, and listen, it's a game of patience. It's the reason that we use the surfer analogy. It's been a while since I brought it up. The reason that I say that we're surfers, we're watching the waves of the setups that are coming into the markets, right? And this is why we get to look at so many different waves. We're looking for the best wave to ride. Pretend you're sitting on top of a surfboard and you're looking into the horizon, watching the waves. You're waiting for two things. You're waiting, first of all, for a set to come in, which means a series of waves. And then out of that set of waves, you're looking to which individual wave you want to ride. That's what we do. So Ethereum, we love Ethereum. Ethereum just entered a bull market. And when I say that, what I mean is this. is that this resistance over here now turns support at $360. We were for 2 years consolidating below that level, and we just broke above it over here. The bull market is just beginning. It is so early right now, right? We look for probability. We look to layer edge upon edge, right? Now that the bull market has begun, right? What are you looking to do? You're looking to buy off any retraces and resumptions off supports. Did you see? We just did the Euro Japanese yen. Did you see that or not when we did that? On the Euro Japanese yen right now, we've pulled back into this local area of support. If we resume off of it, hopefully I hit my take profit level on it. But as far as positioning it into it right now or today, I don't know. Not for me. 400 likes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time, for showing your support, for helping support the channel, and more importantly, thanks for being here, spending the time with me. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. Rontan is asking, could you buy Bitcoin from overseas outside of the USA, or do you have to buy it elsewhere and then send in the Bitcoin or Ethereum? I'm not exactly sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I would be interested to see where their revenue is coming from right now. Is it coming from actually iPhone sales? Is it coming from their computers, or is it starting to come from their new streaming service? I'd be very interested to know that. Yeah, Coinbase Pro, right? If you set limit orders, you are saving a lot on fees. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. That's awesome. I love you. I appreciate that so much. Oh, really? I like the Winklevoss brothers though. I really do. I would feel, I don't use Gemini and I've never used Gemini. I would feel absolutely comfortable using Gemini though. I'm interested to know more. But BlockFi is not Gemini, by the way. BlockFi is not Gemini. BlockFi does use Gemini cold storage to store and securely their Bitcoin. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So this is a fantastic question. Murray, I want to get into this question. Murray's asking, did I learn a lot about blockchain in general too? I mean, so by the way, huge misconception, right? Because there was this, it started through some VCs in the United States, and the meme was blockchain, not Bitcoin, because they missed the boat on Bitcoin and they were trying to like get all their VC plays into all these other, chains. Bitcoin is blockchain. Boom. Bitcoin is blockchain. Bitcoin is the blockchain. Bitcoin is blockchain. Now, all these other cryptocurrencies, the thing about them compared to Bitcoin is there's one major, huge difference between Bitcoin and any other crypto, and that's Bitcoin is the largest decentralized blockchain in the world. It has the most hash power behind it. It is the most secure. Now, these other chains are much more centralized. They're much more centralized. Some of them are working towards decentralization, but Bitcoin is the largest decentralized blockchain with the most secure network there is. They're in different categories. They're in different categories also because Bitcoin is competing for money, and the others are for certain utilities within certain ecosystems. And that's all well and good. I support cryptocurrency across the board. I'm rooting for Ethereum. I don't know whether or not it's going to be able to scale, but I'm rooting for it, and I hope it works out. Litecoin, right? It's like Bitcoin Lite, right? But yeah, I mean, it's cool, but if Litecoin is able to implement any privacy features, then at that point you'll see a huge boom in Litecoin. I think Litecoin becomes more interesting than Monero if it's private. But Monero has a huge use case. It's privacy. That's awesome. I don't use Monero, but I think that it's a great blockchain. Chainlink, again, I only took a position in this because of what do? I'm an analyst. I follow data. I saw what was happening in the bull market. I said months before I invested in it that I thought Tezos and LinkedIn and Chainlink were going to be some of the leaders in the next bull market. So I took some small speculative positions in them. I'm not familiar because Murray, I stopped. I'm not familiar with Tezos or Chainlink so much, a little bit on Chainlink and what they do. I have an understanding of EOS and XRP. I mean, the top ones, I do not understand Cardano. I stopped taking the time to learn about them because I made an informed decision that Bitcoin, it was, the one. Bitcoin is the one I'm interested in it. I understand it. I know it. It's different than the rest. I think the other ones are cool, and I'm all about cryptocurrencies. Yeah, by the way, so is Kraken has become a real pain to deal with, but still, better than Coinbase. Oh, that's interesting. And I also saw they made a note yesterday that you should only do wires of over $5,000. This is recommended. You could send a wire for less. If they did ACH transfers, that would be ideal. That's awesome. Look at this. Look at this tip and suggestion. If you go to Bitcoin RSC channel on Freenode, you'll be able to find the most knowledgeable people in the world on the topic. And that's what I said. So I'm pretty confident that, most of the time I walk into the room, by far I know the most about Bitcoin. But when I go to a Bitcoin conference, I know that like there are people like towering above me, and I just know nothing compared to them. Adam Black, by the way, is a good follow on Twitter. Your Twitter link on YouTube doesn't work. Thank you. I will fix that right away. Thank you, Mike G. If you're looking for the Twitter link, though, thank you, Mike G. I'll have to update that. There is the correct and working link on that. By the way, thanks for spending the time with me here this morning. I had a wire transfer not fun to my BlockFi account. Now recalling it. Yeah, so when you are, Lawrence, doing the transfer to BlockFi, make sure you include your individual code, which they removed yesterday. I still use my code, but they removed it, and I think the name has to match now. Yeah, of course you can. You could buy it off of a PC. You could buy Bitcoin off of a PC. I never bought Bitcoin off a smartphone in my life, Hank. I use a computer to do that. Matt Adams, I always used to say that we were, little nuggets, but gems I like much better. Thank you. Yeah, so I think at this point also, and I started researching again. I only invested in Chainlink because of just what I put together, watching how price reacted compared to other during the bear market. But Chainlink is interesting. They got some serious partnerships, including with Google. And, that's one that you might want to own a little bit just in case it catches on. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. I'm humbled by your comment and grateful for it. I don't know about that, Matt Adams. What what are you talking about? Oh, Vitus. You guys are in a conversation I wasn't privy to. It's amazing that Apple made that transition. This was going back about 18 months, 2 years ago, when they started making the transition into service. Did you already get a look at? Did you get a look at whatchamacallit at Ethereum? Because we looked at it, and it's basically Ethereum right now. The last entry was down here. This was the break of resistance, the retest of support, and on the resumption up. Right now, you should be neutral, waiting for. You're in an uptrend. You started the bull market in Ethereum, buying pullbacks into support on Ethereum on the resumption off. Yeah, I think so. I think so. And I would like going back to Murray's question, right? I actually would like to learn more about Chainlinked, and if I have that opportunity, in the next few weeks, I'm going to start doing that little by little. I would like to know more. All right, everyone. I think we're going to call it a session. We went almost 2 hours this morning, and what a pleasure. Thanks to everyone who's here now and stayed through and participated. I am grateful and just enjoy all of you so much. You feel like a family to me. And I just want to say thanks. Tomorrow, watch out for that volatility tomorrow. It's gonna be really nice taking in tomorrow's data and market reaction and then putting it together for ourselves. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for that heads up. Sorry about that. By the way, every session that I get on with you is so important to me. The truth is, I get on my knees minutes before every session, and I just ask that he may be heard for me. And that's where the light and the positivity come from. I always want to deliver for all of you. It's very important to me that every time, if you're willing to put in the time to be here with me, that I am helping you and teaching you. It's very important to me. Cash App's another good one for buying Bitcoin. Cash App, you could send out the Bitcoin. Cash App is better than Robinhood, I assume. Thank you, Gemma. My favorite saint, Saint Gemma. It's the truth. All right, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you all tomorrow.